Hey F1 fans, this is Doug, US F1 fan, coming to you once again on my commute to work. Alright, let's talk about the one team that has experienced more drama than any other team on the grid over the last, let's say, 7-8 years. That would be Team Enstone, also currently known as Alpine. Now, there is a whole long video that I could do on the heritage of Team Enstone, the ups and downs, the ownership changes, everything that's gone on. That is another video for another day. Today's video, though, will be a short little vignette on where the team is right now, because they're in a bit of a pickle. So let's describe the current situation. Over the last, let's say, 7 years, there's been a lot of upheaval in that team. So you've gone from Renault buying the former Lotus team, which used to be the Renault team, which used to be the Benetton team, which used to be the Toleman team. That's why I use the term Team Enstone, because that's where they're based. All right, so all that aside is you have a team that is under Renault Group ownership, but they've struggled. Even though they make their own engine, they own their own team, they haven't been able to pull it all together and make it into a competitive package. They had a couple glimpses of hope with Daniel Ricciardo, where he got a couple of podiums in 2020, but frankly, they've not been doing that well. In fact, they've been struggling. Over the last few years, they've been through a lot of management upheaval, where they've gone through a whole list of leaders at the top of the team. I won't detail that here, but basically the last couple of years they've seen Otmar Safnauer, who was there for a short period of time. They got rid of him. Laurent Rossi, the guy who was in charge of the team, was moved to a different position. Even the lead guy at Renault, who convinced the company to invest heavily in the team and to attempt to make it more competitive, Luca De Meo, he's gone. And over the last couple of years now, they've brought in a couple of people to stabilize the situation, the latest of whom, blast from the past, Flavio Briatore. All right, so during Briatore's reign, we've also seen a lot of churn. He was brought in nominally as like an advisor, or not really a team principal, but kind of a team principal, a shadow team principal, one might say. So he's there trying to stabilize the situation, and there's a lot of speculation. All right, is the Renault Group just looking to sell the team entirely, and Flavio has been brought in to get it to a point where it can be sold? Because, Flavio, for all of his manifest sketchiness, that might be the right term, he has been able to pull together teams and people and enable them to perform. Again, kind of a rare skill set in Formula One, and he has a track record to prove it. All right, so what is the future of the team? Don't know, but there are some changes ahead. They are no longer going to use Renault supplied power units, so they will go to Mercedes next year for their engines, and that may make them more competitive. The speculation is that the Renault engine is down anywhere from 20 to 40 horsepower compared to the other ones. So they're at a horsepower deficit, which manifests itself in power tracks especially. And like last year, their car was overweight by several kilos, which again makes your car less competitive. And they kind of have a problem too with their drivers. They've had some churn there too. You have Pierre Gasly, who has been really performing well, but he hasn't always been given the car to perform well. Last year you had Esteban Ocon, who his challenges with Pierre Gasly are well documented, but he was capable of performing well, and the team itself did fairly well at the end of the year, scoring that double podium in the rain in Interlagos in particular, which was quite impressive. And they also had other point-scoring finishes. But they got rid of Alpine before the last race in Abu Dhabi. They brought Jack Doohan. Jack Doohan was in for the first couple races this season, and then he was cashiered for Franco Colapinto, whom they acquired from Williams. And Franco struggled. He went from being the hot commodity last year, where he overperformed in the Williams as a rookie. But he has had several crashes, the last of which took place after Hungary during a Pirelli tire test. So he has definitely had a tough time of it at Team Enstone. And there's a lot of speculation he may not last into 2026, and Alpine could well get another driver. Who that is, nobody knows just yet, but it's looking like a very dynamic situation. So I'll talk a little bit more in separate videos about the saga of Alpine and how they got to where they are now, as well as their heritage, because there is a lot to talk about in terms of what they've accomplished in the past. So stay tuned, hit the subscribe button, like the video if you like what I have, and get the comments going on. We'll talk more. Bye-bye.